Hello everyone, welcome to day number 4 of the Superbet Chess Classic in Romania. And the good news for today, our very own Wesley So won over the former challenger Ian Nepomniachtchi. All right, let's check it out. Wesley was white. This was a positional masterpiece by Wesley. This is the Wesley that I have been waiting for. If Wesley played like this in the Grand Prix, I think he's going to be the candidates. If he played like this, yeah. Knight after d5, okay, d4, knight f6, c4. Again, we have the Catalan. Bishop into e7, bishop g2, castles. Black captures on c4, queen c2. Hitting the c4 directly. b5, the pawn protects. Now if white goes for knight e5, then knight just goes to d5 to block the attack on rook a8. Okay, typical in this structure is play a4, attacking the defender on b5, bishop to b7, takes a6. Black sacrifices the pawn for development. Okay, if you look at white has not developed his bishop, knight here. Yeah. Black has already completed his development, so takes, bishop d5, and then c5. All right. Active pieces for black. Bishop into e3. White only needs to regroup. Yeah, he has a healthy pawn. That's an important pawn. And that pawn will be decisive in this game. We'll see how Wesley executes the winning plan here. Yeah, how he nurses his pawn advantage. Knight into e4, queen e1. Wesley moves away from the annoying knights. Yep. Knight into b4, takes a rook, queen takes a8, knight c3, takes, knight c2. White's pieces are quite cramped, but once white regroups, that pawn will be a big factor. Queen d2, takes. All right, the more black exchanges, the better it is for white. Yeah. Again, when you're up a pawn, you simplify. Rook into d8, queen f4. Nice move. Clearing the way for the pawn to protect the important d4 pawn, because black was trying to go for bishop f6, bishop takes, and bishop takes d4. Nepomniachtchi played h6, e3. All right. Bishop e6. Nice moment here by Wesley with queen h4, the timing of the move. Black cannot capture an f3 because after takes, the queen will hit the rook on d8. So bishop b4, Nepomniachtchi stops the knight from going back to e1. All right, with the knight on e1, it protects g2. Now, if you go knight e1, black has takes. If you take on d5, he has this intermediate check on f2. Right, so bishop takes f2. He gains back the pawn, and black will have a better structure. So Wesley went for queen g4, protecting the f3 knight. Bishop and queen protects. Bishop takes, queen a5. The capture in f3 signals that black just wants to draw the game here. He wants to go into an opposite colored bishop endgame. Queen a5, rook to b1, bishop d6, h4. Right. Now the king has 2 squares to go, u2 and h2. Rook to b8, rook takes b8. White can also keep the rook with rook b1. Yeah. I think it's much better to have that rook so that you will have some pressure on the back rank later on. Putting the queen on e4, then you can push on d5. I think it's better to keep the rook here, but okay, Wesley simplified it to take b8, takes, and d5. Right. Black cannot take the pawn, of course, just queen c8, hitting the bishop and the king. So queen a1 check, king g2, queen e5, just in time. Okay, queen protects the e6 pawn. Now, if you go here, queen to b6, for example, protect e6, it's different because now white has queen c4. If you look at the game, there was also queen c4, but bishop d6. Now, what's the difference from here? Queen c4, you go queen d6, for example. There's queen b5, yeah. Takes, bishop takes d5. Now white's threat is queen e8. And the queen will be passive on f8. And then I can go for e4 here. Yeah. e4, some f4, e5, I guess. So that's the reason why Nepomniachtchi went for queen a1, then queen e5. Wesley went for queen c4. Again, if white takes, just queen takes. Takes and takes. There's a higher chance of drawing with the opposite colored bishop. King will just go to f7 and white cannot progress, even if white is a pawn up. So queen c4, bishop to d6, takes, bishop d5, pressure on the weakest point, f7. Queen d7, h5. White's plan will concentrate on that f7 pawn. Queen f5, queen c6. Okay, bishop f3. All these moves are just pretty easy to, it's just simple maneuvering. Should d1, queen to b7. White has nothing to lose. Black is just defending f7, nothing else. There's no counterplay for black. Bishop g4, queen g5, queen f3. All right, he doesn't need to. Yeah, if he wants, he can go queen e5 here. To be the same position, but Nepomniachtchi was very impatient. This is Nepo's character, yeah. In the World Championship, that's the reason why he lost to Magnus, also because he was playing too fast, and this impatience actually cost him that World Championship. So takes. G6 wasn't needed, yeah. Bishop f5, queen f6, queen d5. Queen into c4. This only creates some chances for white with an open g5 here. Queen b4, queen e2, king h2, bishop into d3, and bishop c4, bishop to b3. Okay, finally e4. Queen f6, king g2, bishop d5. This is very tough for black when you are defending the whole time. It wears you, yeah. It wears you out. It wears you out. I mean, it's your energy. It's sapping your energy, yeah. When you're defending the whole time, this psychologically is just not an easy thing to get into this position. You feel down, you don't have any chances, you're just waiting, it's just a waiting game, yeah. And your opponent just keeps improving on his position. And finally here, Nepomniachtchi blundered with bishop d4. With the bishop on g7, there's a chance to hold. Okay, you can go probably queen g6 if you want to protect that f7 pawn. Although white always has e5, e5, f4. And then later on, you can push, let's say, queen f3, or maybe bishop e4, queen c4 here, king f3, g4, f5. But bishop d4 just loses on the spot, and Wesley has e5. Now the bishop cannot go back to protect the king. Queen G6, and the tactic by Wesley. Bishop takes F7. The winning tactic on F7. The king and queen can capture the bishop. Okay, can capture with the queen here, but this bishop is just dead with double attack queen G4. Oops. Let's say king takes, the double attack would be on C4. Then after that, white will have this extra 2 pawns. That's more than enough to win. Well, this was a positional masterpiece by Wesley. Very patient, yeah, waiting for his chances. All right, he wore out his opponent, yeah. With all this maneuvering, black just gave up in the end. Because psychologically, it was really bad for black. You're 1 pawn down, you were defending, you don't have any counter chances. So that's not an easy thing to be with. Yeah. And I was actually impressed by the way Wesley handled this game. If Wesley only played like this, if this character or this attitude was there in the Grand Prix, I believe that Wesley will be playing in the candidates. But also this serves as a strong message to FIDE that Wesley is a worthy player in the candidates. Yeah. The one he defeated here was Magnus Carlsen's challenger in the World Championship last year. Yeah. So this is a good win for Wesley. Nepomniachtchi was also tied for the lead with Wesley before this round. And winning over Nepo takes Wesley into first place with 5 more games to go. So that was it. Great win for Wesley So. And hopefully he will continue his form in the next 5 rounds. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for supporting our channel, Charles Max Chess and Charles Max Entertainment on Facebook and YouTube. This is Coach Oliver. Stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye.